G'day and welcome to this explainer. If you're a parent of a Year 5 or 6 student preparing for the NSW Selective High School Placement Test, you are in exactly the right place. We know that navigating this prep at home can feel, well, totally overwhelming. So today, we're unpacking a really clear, structured pathway called Path to Selective. It's designed to help your child confidently tackle the writing exam without all the usual stress.
Let's kick things off with a pretty crucial question. Is simply writing more the real secret to success here? Honestly, it's a massive myth that the best prep is just endlessly rewriting the same old narrative and persuasive pieces, or worse, memorizing entire essays just to regurgitate them on test day. Simply handing a 10-year-old a stack of blank practice papers and starting a timer isn't a magic silver bullet. We really need to be working smarter, not just harder.
Here's the thing about relying on memorized, fixed essays. It leaves students incredibly vulnerable. It's kind of like programming a rigid robot that just completely freezes the second it's asked to do something unexpected. True success? That comes from being an adaptable builder. We want our kids to look at any prompt, instantly grasp its unique purpose, figure out exactly who their audience is, and just adapt on the fly. We're aiming to build independent problem solvers, not just human photocopiers.
So, to develop that vital flexibility, the Path to Selective framework actually exposes students to 20 different writing formats. We're talking everything from news reports and speeches to advice sheets and discussion pieces. Now, just to be super clear, the NSW Department of Education doesn't officially prescribe a strict list of 20 compulsory formats. But by exploring these diverse structures, students build an incredibly versatile mental toolkit. That way, when test day finally arrives, they aren't thrown off by some weird, unfamiliar prompt. They're ready for absolutely anything.
Okay, so how do we actually build that toolkit? Well, it relies on a really continuous, dependable learning cycle. It goes like this: learn the skill, practice it, get feedback, improve, and finally, practice under exam conditions. Instead of just sliding a blank page across the table and saying, "Write more," this framework acts like a dependable mentor. It completely replaces all that mindless repetition with deliberate, step-by-step improvement.
Let's zoom in on that feedback stage for a second. Let's be honest, getting a generic 6 out of 10 on a practice essay doesn't tell a student how to fix a rushed ending or a lack of sentence variety. Feedback absolutely has to be targeted. With this pathway, your child gets really specific insights on their ideas, their text structure, their vocabulary, and their grammar. That way they know exactly what their weaknesses are and what they need to fix before they even start their next piece.
You can really see this sort of micro-hero's journey of learning play out in action. Say a student starts with a fairly weak, unsupported paragraph. It's a bit like a wobbly foundation on a house. But through that targeted feedback we just talked about, they learn a specific structure: point, why, example, and consequence. So they revise. They expand on the why, and they flesh out the consequence. And suddenly, they've built something rock solid that they can easily apply in their next time to task. They aren't just doing busy work anymore, they're actively evolving as writers.
And once those core skills are built, it's time to introduce the ultimate constraint: 30 minutes. Look, just hearing a timer tick down can induce panic in the calmest of adults, let alone a 10-year-old taking a big test. Path to Selective anchors all this preparation to that strict 30-minute limit with a highly effective training routine. It's 4 minutes for planning, 23 minutes for writing, and 3 minutes for checking. By practicing this exact breakdown over and over, the real test limit actually starts to feel familiar and totally manageable, rather than completely terrifying.
The overarching philosophy here is incredibly simple but so powerful. Path to Selective doesn't just give your child more questions. It helps them understand how to approach a task, learn from mistakes, and improve step by step. Now, it's important to note that no specific program out there can ever 100% guarantee selective admission. But this framework absolutely builds a highly capable, independent, exam-ready writer who can tackle the demands of those high-pressure tests with real confidence.
And that brings us to our final empowering thought to leave you with today. Learn the skill. Practice it, improve it, be ready for any writing prompt. By moving away from that old-school rote memorization and focusing on a really clear, structured learning cycle, you can equip your child with the exact right tools, one step at a time. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, but right before you go, ask yourself this: is your child just writing more, or are they actually learning how to write better?